Hey, what's going on, everyone? I am back for another Slim Sports interview. And as always, I'm your host, Jay Slim. And joining me once again on the podcast, wrapping up her season with the Miami Hurricanes in the ACC Power 5 Conference, doing what she does best, and that is knocking down shots from long range. The Steph Curry of women's basketball. Ladies and gentlemen, 5'9" shooting guard, Vittoria Blasigh. How's it going, V?
Hi, everything good, yo?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Excited to get you back on. Had you on last year after you wrapped up a couple of great years with USF. Came over to the Power Five level and didn't miss a beat when it came to knocking down those long range shots or finding ways to help your team win. I know it was a different situation for you this year. A lot of newcomers for this team, and we're gonna talk about that here in a little bit on this podcast episode here. But first, before we hop into the questions, I gotta let fans, viewers know who you are and what you've done real quick by showing off your resume in a segment that I like to call Resume Rundown. I'm going to show off all of these awards, all of these championships you've been able to get. And I'm going to start off with 2024, where you were American Conference Freshman of the Year during your time with USF. Actually, 6 times during that season, you were Freshman of the Week. So obviously showing why you deserve that award throughout that season. Last year, 2025, your last year with the Bulls, ended up being named to the all tournament team after helping lead them to an American Conference championship, go on to the NCAA tournament, where obviously you guys were showcasing why you guys were one of the best teams in the country week after week, game after game. Go on to Miami this past year. And although you didn't make it to the NCAA tournament, you guys were able to get a postseason nod in the WBIT, where you guys beat Georgia Southern in the first round, went on to the second round of that tournament. So always finding success, always finding ways to win and produce for your team. And you entered into a Miami program where you and I both know the history that the Canes have. I mean, it wasn't too long ago. They were making it to national tournament every single year. They had their previous head coach ended up retiring in Katie Meyer. And then the new head coach comes in Trisha Kulop, who great head coach as well, obviously, as you know, having learned from her this past year. And you yourself, you're coming in with a winning background as well, obviously coming from USF, having made the national tournament, being one of these dominant players. Talk to me real quick about your winning background and the historical winning culture of Miami and how you would say that kind of blended together.
I mean, obviously, like coming to Miami was definitely like a great opportunity. Like I was so thankful that they gave me the opportunity to play here. I'll say, I mean, obviously, like my dream was always to play college basketball, and like Miami has always been my dream school. So I'm just grateful that I made that happen. And yeah, I mean, like I just wanted to challenge myself every day. Like I want to succeed as much as I can. So definitely at this level and coming from a USF program definitely helped me a lot. Yeah.
Hey, there you go. There you go. Obviously, able to go in and contribute right away for your team. And what's crazy about this team is you guys had so many newcomers, so many transfers coming in. Obviously, yourself included. Maya Cohn, who I had on a year ago, she came in from FIU. And I looked overall for on the stats from ESPN and whatever. And what I found was that only one player for Miami appeared for the Canes a year ago. So whether it was freshmen seeing the court for the first time, transfers like yourself coming in, there was only one player that had been a part of the Canes system on the floor for them a year ago. What was that like for you guys as a team overall when it came to blending early on to try to put wins together? And how would you say you kind of developed your role in those first couple games throughout the season with all of these newcomers?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it was like a different team. Like for me, everybody was new, so we had to get to know each other. And I feel like one thing that we did very well was like hanging out outside of the court, like try to find the chemistry that a team needs on and off the court. So obviously like from an upperclassman, I was like an example for like the freshmen. So yeah, we had to work a lot because obviously we weren't used to play together, but we played a lot of pickup in the summer and kind of build that from the pickup from the summer and get out from the outside the court for sure.
Yeah, I mean, you guys were able to put wins together from the start of the season, 4 straight wins to open up the year. You guys ended up going against number 19 Iowa, number 24 Oklahoma State, where you guys did end up coming out on top, but you guys were right there with, I believe both of those games were decided by just 3 points each. So
Yes.
obviously you're competing with some of the best in the country because you guys know that you can be one of the best in the country. what would you say are some of the bright spots that you saw early on in the season that helped you guys go on that 4 game win streak, get some of these other big time wins, and also compete with these nationally ranked Power Five opponents?
Yeah, I think like about confidence, I would say confidence is one of the key that help us win. And then obviously like we were a really good team like together. Like the chemistry was very good in the locker room. I feel like that helped a lot. And it was just like great people. Like the locker room was very like awesome, I would say. And that's definitely like the key that helped us for sure.
Mhm. Hey, you gotta have that confidence when you're knocking down shots like you do. And obviously, you were on here a year ago when I got to start debuting this segment that we're about to get into last season, where we get to show off your highlights, show off these plays in a segment that I like to call Make That Play, where once again, I went through the film, I went through Synergy and put together what I felt like were your top 3 plays from this past season. Obviously, you were knocking down shots left and right, so it was hard to just choose threes. So, as you know, I'm just a stats guy. I'm just a fan in the stands. You're the one on the court doing what you do best. What would you say was your best play from this past season?
I'll say probably like my 3-point shot for sure. Like I was able to embrace my role. That was my role in the team. Like I tried to put myself in the best position to help my team to win. So I would say that for sure. And then just like help the team, like whatever they need me, like was a stop or a steal or like just a rebound, assist. Like yeah, I'm just able to like put myself in the best position for them.
Hey, there you go. Obviously, anytime you're able to knock down a shot, that obviously was a highlight reel for you. And I'm going to talk about 3 plays specifically right here. And I'm going to start off going against SMU, where you hit a killer crossover into a step back three going against them. You ended up taking that defender a couple steps inside the arc, hit that crossover, sent them flying. You step back behind the arc and knock down the triple to get some more points on the board for your team. Obviously, great job by yourself. And I mean, whether it was beyond the arc or mid range. I mean, you hit a turnaround jumper against NC State, which is what I have at number 2, driving down the lane on the defender, hit her with a nice little spin move, and then kind of like a fadeaway jumper. Actually, you were leaning back with that and just hit them with a bucket. They didn't know what to do because obviously you're showing off that athleticism, showing off that shot. And you mentioned, obviously, besides the 3-point shot, whether it was coming up with steals, whatever it was, obviously your defense spoke loudly for you too, because against California, number 1 on my list, you had a big time steal and score going against them where you locked up the Cal guard at half court. She could not get away from you. You ended up poking the ball away, stole it, pump faked her to send her flying, scored the layup while another defender was coming in to try to swat the shot. She obviously didn't get it because you made the shot, but she actually went into the first defender and knocked her on the ground. So a little blooper reel for them, highlight reel for you. And obviously, those are just 3 of a whole lot of plays that you had throughout the season. And you really started to find your stride with the Canes in that WBCA showcase where you guys went against Davidson and that Iowa team where you had 11 points in each of those games. Followed that up a couple games later. I believe you had 22 points against NC State a couple games later, and just obviously showcasing what you could do, especially heading into ACC conference action, going against the best of the best every single night. You got to be on the best game that you can. So, what would you say really clicked for you? What was that X factor when you got a couple games under your belt to really start finding your stride, scoring and contributing more?
Yeah, I think like I kind of build up my confidence every game coming from the tournament to Orlando because I mean I know that like the ACC is definitely like a tough league. We know that every night like is competitive, like no matter who you play. So yeah, I mean definitely like confidence, and then I would tell my teammates they really like help me a lot. Like they always believed in me and push me every day. And sometimes like I don't know, I miss a shot and they were always like, "We got you, Vicky, like next one." So I feel like that's the most important thing. Yeah.
Hey, absolutely. It always helps to have teammates that are able to push you, get better. And you yourself, you average 6.7 points per game, average about a rebound and a half. But I mean, marksman from beyond the arc shot 38.2% from three. And some of these games, I mentioned NC State, you had 22 points. You knocked down 4 threes in that game. Going against Georgia State, you had 18 points, where all of those were on made threes. You knocked down 6 threes against them. And then going against Kennesaw State, you had another 18 points to go with 6 rebounds in that game as well. So able to knock down shot after shot and help this team do what they did best. And although you guys had success here and there, you guys had, I believe, 4 game win streaks 3 different times throughout the season. You guys did have a couple hiccups in the road here and there, obviously being in the ACC, very tough conference. You guys still were able to find some good wins here, but then had a few tough, close losses at other times. What would you say was the mentality for this team to where you guys were able to bounce back and put wins together despite having a, maybe like that tough loss to Iowa, Oklahoma State, or whatever it might be?
Yeah, I would say probably like everything came from practice. Like when we had a bad loss, like we were coming in like compete and then getting extra shots. So that was like one of the key for sure. And especially, like being a different team, like we didn't know each other, so we had to work harder for sure and compete. That was definitely the key. Yeah.
Hey, always competed, always did what you could. You guys had a winning season overall, 18 and 15 overall record. ACC, I mentioned obviously you and I both know one of the toughest conferences. You guys went 8 and 10 in conference action, but still grabbed some of these big time wins. I mentioned Georgia State where you knocked down 6 threes. That was en route to a 99 to 46 win against them. Going against Stanford in the first round of the ACC tournament, you guys had an 83 to 76 overtime win, so able to get those postseason wins, including Georgia Southern in the WBIT first round, where you guys beat them 82 to 56, obviously blew them out of the water. So obviously you guys were able to do what you did, and that's what got you guys the opportunity to compete in the WBIT. Obviously, you and I both know you want to make the NCAA tournament, but when you do get another postseason nod, you're going to make the most of it. You want to hold up that trophy, and you guys went on, beat Georgia Southern, competed with a very talented Wisconsin team where you guys were down by 16 at one point and made a big time comeback. You hit a big time three there late to help cut the deficit down. Talk to me real quick about the opportunity to continue your guys' season. What was the mentality going into it as, that game plan beating Georgia Southern and especially that comeback against Wisconsin? Because Wisconsin was a very talented team as well. I really want to know about how you guys were able to persevere and find a way to climb back against them.
Yeah, I mean, like a postseason is always like who is more hungry. So obviously, like we didn't want the season to be over, and yes, we were sad that we didn't make the March Madness for sure. But we know that like the ACC is a tough league. So yeah, I mean, we just got the opportunity to play the WBIT. It was definitely like awesome, and yeah, I mean, the loss against Wisconsin like definitely hurt a lot. But I feel like we learn from our mistakes. That's like the most important thing. And I mean, Wisconsin like played a tough league too, so it was definitely a good team. Yeah,
Yeah, instant thriller. I was watching that game live, and when you knocked down that three, I'm like, all right, here we go. They're gonna do this. And obviously, you guys came back, cut it down to real close. I believe it was 5 points
yeah,
or less, somewhere around there. And
yeah,
Wisconsin ended up coming out on top, but obviously, you guys showed that perseverance, showed what you could do. And
yeah.
after the conclusion of the season, you entered your name into the transfer portal. You announced that you were looking for a new home. Obviously, Miami was your dream school, as you mentioned. You had that opportunity, but you're looking to continue to grow as a player, to continue your career overall when you eventually make it to the pros. So, I want to ask you, as somebody that has been down this road before, you've been in the portal process a year ago, now you're back. Talk to me real quick about your decision to enter the portal again, and what system do you feel like is really going to fit you best, to fit your style of play, to where you can go help contribute once again and lead them back to March Madness?
Yeah, I mean, definitely like it's not easy to leave Miami. Like it's been my, as you said, like my dream school. But I feel like it wasn't the right fit for what I'm looking for because I have goals. Like I want to go play professional for sure. So I was like, I want to try to get more like playing time and like and maybe embrace my role even bigger somewhere else. So yeah, I'm just through the process now. Like it's a little stressful, figure it out like the team. But I'm not like I think I made the right decision and I just can't wait like whatever I ended up.
Hey, no doubt in my mind, wherever you end up, you're going to be knocking down shots left and right. Probably going to be an
Yeah.
all-conference player next year once again. I'm going to be seeing you on TV in the NCAA tournament, no doubt in my mind. And obviously, you're an incredible player, an incredible athlete. You've gotten to play alongside some of the most talented athletes in the country between your time at USF and Miami. And I want to give you a chance once again, just as we did last time I had you on, to shout some of your teammates out, former teammates, current teammates, or just people that you know at other schools all together in a segment that I like to call Who's Up Next, where you get to recommend some players for me to have on to tell their stories, talk about their careers, just as you're doing now. So, who would you say is next up on the Slim Sports podcast?
I would say probably Carla Brito. She was playing with me at USF. She's done now. but I feel like she's just a awesome athlete and also person. She she just like amazing. Like I miss her so much, and like she's the type of player where like she always have your back and she helps you and push you every day. Like she's the player that you want in your team for sure. Yeah.
Hey, there you go. Obviously, if they're coming from the Bulls, being a Florida guy
Yeah.
myself, originally from there, USF was one of my favorite schools to watch. I know their women's basketball program obviously put out some dogs like yourself, like her, and a lot of other great athletes that you got to play alongside. And now that we've talked about who's up next, definitely got to talk about what's next. We know that you're waiting on the, the transfer portal process, obviously with all that, finding another place to call home. But I want to ask you, where do you feel like you need to grow the most this offseason, whether it's on the court, off the court, whatever that might be, in order to go into next season to be the best version of yourself and make all of your dreams, your goals become reality?
Yes. So I feel like I want to improve as a more as a combo guard. Like I know I have my 3-point shot, but I also want to improve like my passing, my defense, my mid range. You know, like kind of like get more confidence to like then be ready to go play professional. That for sure. So yeah, just like embrace my role. You know, like try to get more wins and whatever the teams needs, like I will do it. But I know like I got to put myself in the best position because I only have 1 year left. So I want to succeed and yeah, and push myself for sure.
Hey, there you go. Got to make the most of it while you can. And I definitely feel like you are going to be holding up a trophy at the end of next season. Can't wait to see where you end up. You already know the Slim Sports family is behind it. We're going to be supporting you, watching the film, watching your games live whenever I get a chance to. And if there's any chance that you're anywhere nearby where I'm at, you already know I'm coming out to the game live to support, cheer you on. So cannot wait to see what is next for you and your journey. And thank you, as always, for showing
Of
your
course.
support to the Slim Sports podcast and hopping on for another fantastic interview.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.